Hello and welcome to the October edition of our Citrix What's New and What's Next webinar, where we cover the latest updates that can drive your business forward. In this webinar, we'll highlight how you can automate the entire certificate lifecycle with NetScaler's zero-touch certificate management, automatically cutting manual renewals and potential downtime. We'll cover how you can simplify access and data protection with Citrix Secure Access with Chrome Enterprise to secure web applications and enable direct access to private web applications also. And we'll walk through some updates in the virtual apps and desktops portfolio with some licensing activation changes and the highly anticipated Entra SSO support, a major collaboration with Microsoft that brings seamless single sign-on to Entra integrated applications. And lastly, we'll show you how you can migrate in minutes from Windows and iGel to Unicon OS with our new migration tool. I will talk about the integration of Unicon's OS with Citrix and Imprivata, enabling faster logins, stronger security, and simpler IT operations. If you've got any questions, feel free to drop them in the Q&A button within the webinar toolbar. Now let's dive right in, starting with Brian and NetScaler. Over to you, Brian.
Hi, I'm Brian Hune, and I'm a Senior Product Marketing Manager for NetScaler. In this session, I'm going to cover the risks your business will be facing due to the lifetime reduction of TLS or SSL certificates. We'll also look at why NetScaler is uniquely positioned to solve this problem, delivering fewer incidents, less manual effort, and a scalable operating model for hybrid and multi-cloud. Let's dive in. The industry is moving from a year-plus certificate lifetime towards nearly half that time next year and down to only 47 days by 2029. This change dramatically increases how often certificates will need to be renewed and verified. For most organizations, current processes are still manual, multiple handoffs and checks, which are time-consuming, complex, and easy to miss when the cadence accelerates. The business impact of this is clear. Missed expirations lead directly to downtime, customer-facing incidents, and audit headaches, issues that business leaders and practitioners alike will feel immediately. At NetScaler, we know this will be a top priority for customers, as certificate-related support cases are already one of the most common across the industry. This is why automation isn't a nice-to-have, it's now essential to protect uptime, reputation, and compliance as lifetimes continue to compress. For business decision makers, there's more on the line than just keeping pages up. As certificate lifetimes compress to 47 days, uptime is the first domino, but the spillover hits compliance exposure, customer trust and revenue, and the opportunity cost of pulling engineers into repetitive work. Manual, ticket-driven renewals don't scale at this cadence. Every 47 days across hybrid multi-cloud means thousands of touch points, more handoffs, and more room for error. Auditors also expect clear ownership, consistent policy, and evidence. Hard to produce when the process is scattered across teams of tools. That's why we frame the stakes in 4 dimensions. First, availability and reputation. Avoid the public embarrassment and SLA penalties of expired certificates. Second, compliance and governance. Prove control over issuance, renewal, and deployment. Third, efficiency and focus. Give time back to engineering and reduce rework. And finally, scale and agility. Keep pace with short rotations while still being able to scale across a growing estate. Now, in this next slide, we'll see how NetScaler Zero-Touch Certificate Management, or ZTCM, addresses those risks end-to-end and delivers single console software-based control at a scale other vendors will struggle to match. So with NetScaler, you can make certificate operations predictable, automated, and centrally managed. With Acme Protocol now supported, NetScaler completes the full lifecycle: request, validate and issue, deploy, monitor, and renew, all while on schedule and under policy. A key advantage is one place to run it all. The NetScaler console lets you manage every NetScaler instance and every certificate across on-prem and multi-cloud in one place. Because NetScaler is software-based, we orchestrate this from a single control plane rather than doing box-by-box procedures or different dashboards for different solutions, making rollout simpler, reducing handoffs, and keeping operations consistent even as you scale. The infinity loop on this slide represents this continuous flow. With app we support, NetScaler now connects you to leading certificate authorities or CAs, such as DigiCert or Let's Encrypt, via an open standard, allowing you to fully automate issuance and renewals end to end. The result is fewer manual touches, fewer errors, clearer governance, and an operating model that keeps pace with timelines of tomorrow's certificate rotation reality. So here's the high-level flow. First, you set policy once using NetScaler Console, the single place that manages every NetScaler instance and every certificate. Next, you connect Acme to your chosen certificate authority, so issuance and renewals follow an open standard. From there, automation takes over on a schedule. NetScaler requests or renews, deploys the right certificate to the right endpoints under policy, monitors status, and renews before expiry. NetScaler will eliminate those repetitive steps and handoffs, giving you that central visibility and governance, and keeping operations in step with those tomorrow's faster rotation cycles. Now, this slide brings the why and the where together. On the left are the 4 outcomes that drive business value. First is risk and resilience. By automating renewals and making deployment policy driven, we dramatically cut expired certificate incidents and the fire drills that follow. Second is compliance and governance. Everything runs through central policy with visibility and an audit trail, so ownership is clear and the process is repeatable. Third is efficiency and focus. Instead of ticket chains and box-to-box work, teams set policy once and the platform handles the recurring tasks, freeing your engineers for higher value work. And finally is scale and agility. Certificate lifetimes will demand faster cadence across more endpoints and environments. And with the Citrix platform license or our universal hybrid multi-cloud license, additional NetScaler instances are included at zero additional cost, meaning you'll be able to grow your business without having to fear expensive expansion costs or the complexity of managing certificates in a growing estate. Now, on the right, we have 4 where to start use cases for quick ROI. First is public web and APIs. Target high visibility endpoints first. Automate rotations to avoid customer-facing outages and SLA hits. They'll cut fire drills immediately and stabilize your revenue-touching services. Second is your hybrid and multi-cloud estate. Use NetScaler Console to centrally manage all of your certificates across AWS, Azure, Google, and on-prem appliances. Next is your VDI and secure access. Keep your auth and session certificates current by default. Expect fewer support tickets and a steadier day-to-day user experience. And the last is large or regulated estates. High certificate volume and audit pressure makes this one of the highest return value segments. Central automation provides time savings and clear evidence for those compliance reviews. These 4 starting points produce quick, high-value returns, resulting in reduced incidents, less manual work, and a single place to manage every NetScaler and every certificate, while setting up scalable operating model for the rest of your estate. Now, for a quick wrap-up. Acme support is now live in NetScaler Console, which means issuance, renewal, and deployment are automated from one place. Don't wait until services go down. Contact your Citrix rep and we'll set up a small pilot. Connect to your chosen CA via Acme, apply policy, and run the first rotation. And for even more details on the topic, check out our how-to guide linked here on the slide. Thank you all for your time today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. We are here to talk about Citrix security, along with my colleague Rainer. We have some exciting updates about Citrix Secure Access with Chrome Enterprise. Over to you, Rainer.
Thanks, Neha. Let's start by looking at what's really driving change in the way we work today. First, we have a modern workforce that's more distributed than ever before. Employees, contractors, and partners connecting from anywhere on any device. Second, there's been an explosion of web apps. Almost every business function now runs through software as a service or web-based applications, which means data is everywhere, often beyond the traditional corporate parameter. And third, the rise of contractors and third-party workers has blurred the lines of the corporate boundary even further. These extended users need access, but without exposing your internal environment to unnecessary risk. On the security side, the challenge has only grown. Endpoint security has become complex because not every device is corporate managed. Add to that the new attack vectors, from phishing and browser exploits to data exfiltration through AI tools. And the threat landscape keeps evolving. And finally, artificial intelligence is reshaping both sides of the equation, powering productivity but also giving bad actors smarter tools. Together, these forces are redefining how organizations think about access, security, and control. Now that we have seen how the workplace is evolving, let's look at the trends that are shaping Citrix strategy going forward. First, business is moving to web and SaaS. Most modern applications today are either fully cloud native or accessed through a browser. That shift changes how we think about delivery, performance, and security. The network parameter no longer protects everything. Access control has to move closer to the user and the application. Second, Chrome is the most published app in VDI environments. That tells us something important. Even in virtual desktops, users are spending most of their time inside a browser. The browser has become the new workspace, the one app that connects to every other application. And third, browsers have become the top vector of attack. Threat actors know this is where the user lives. So phishing, malicious extension, and data exfiltration all starts here. These three trends together make the browser central to both productivity and risk. That's why our strategy focuses on securing access right at the browser layer, protecting users where the actual work happens. So, the first thing we have to ensure is reduce browser risks. Bad actors use different tactics, often utilize AI-based methods or malicious extensions to compromise endpoints or steal session cookies to exfiltrate data. Today's antivirus solutions often struggle to keep pace and lack insights into what's happening in the browser. As a result, we must rethink our protection strategy and begin controlling and protecting data within the browser where the work happens. Followed by the top priority, cost optimization. Businesses use the same access method to provide access to web applications as they do for other applications, because they are considered as secure. This is not always the best option and often unnecessarily increases infrastructure costs, while potentially also decreasing user experience. Choosing the best access method for the right situation helps lower costs and increase user satisfaction. And lastly, VPN, which is still used and considered as a secure access method, albeit with limitations in terms of granularity and insights. We all know that VPNs are a door opener for bad actors. Once the device is connected to the corporate network, access is almost granted to the entire network, and following a zero-trust approach and granting access only to resources the user needs without requiring another agent would help reduce the overall risk. This is where Citrix Secure Access with Chrome Enterprise comes in, a joint solution that combines the strengths of Citrix Zero Trust Network Access, Citrix Secure Private Access, and Google's Secure Browser, Chrome Enterprise Premium. And to validate our strengths, IDC named Citrix as the leader in the application streaming and enterprise browser market. And GigaOM has named Citrix for the second year in a row as the leader and fast mover in the CTNA market. With that, I'm handing over to Niha to let us know more about Citrix Secure Access with Chrome Enterprise.
Thank you, Raina. As we discussed, this solution is a partnership between Citrix and Google, and it delivers browser-native zero trust access. On the Citrix side, the secure private access solution offers granular, context-aware awareness controls, which allow you to tailor permissions based on user identity, device posture, and location. Add to that strong policy management, observability, and monitoring, along with application firewalling, and you get deep visibility and control across every session. On the Chrome side, Enterprise Premium adds advanced protections such as data loss prevention, URL filtering, threat protection, auditing, and rapid zero-day responses, all built natively into the world's most used browser. Together, they create an integrated management and support model from Citrix, helping IT teams deliver secure access experiences not only across managed but also unmanaged devices. In short, Citrix and Google are combining forces to make the browser the most secure workplace possible. As you would know, the changing landscape of the workplace and the workforce and the proliferation of SaaS and web apps has increased organizations' vulnerability to cybersecurity risks. And as these apps are often accessed via traditional web clients such as browsers across not only managed but also unmanaged devices, there's simply not an adequate level of governance and control. To help mitigate this risk, enterprises leverage secure service edge tools, which provide the needed controls and policy enforcement across the cloud. But they still miss one critical layer: the browser, the very place users interact with data. That's where the most critical piece of the puzzle, Citrix and Google Chrome Enterprise Premium integration shines. Our solution complements secure service edge solution and protects access at every level. This means you can address contractor and BYOD devices, enhance web filtering and data protection policies, mitigate endpoint leakage gaps, and integrate natively with zero trust network access for end-to-end security. Let's wrap up by looking at what truly sets Citrix apart in this space. Citrix offers a known trusted environment that organizations have relied on for years. With Citrix Secure Access, you can strengthen security without heavy change management or disrupting existing workflows. We provide a superior unmanaged device solution, whether it's contractors, third-party partners, or BYOD users. Citrix combines DLP, clientless ZTNA, and enterprise browser to deliver complete frictionless experience. Lastly, we deliver a comprehensive zero trust approach, leveraging Citrix platform assets along with Citrix Private Access and Chrome Enterprise. That's the Citrix advantage for you. Secure access for every user from any device, from anywhere, without any compromise. That's it from our side. Do let us know if you have any questions.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. My name is John Degatti, and I'm part of this product marketing team here at Citrix. And today we're going to talk about the latest updates that we have coming out for Citrix DaaS. And as you know, our focus is on delivering a modern, secure, and seamless workspace experience while also trying to reduce costs and improve your operational efficiency. And you'll see that in some of the features that we're going to talk about soon. Let's start with the impact of our latest release, the Citrix CVAD 2507, and then we'll dive into some of those updates around licensing and identity. Just last month, we released CVAD 2507 LTSR. And as you know, that was a very significant update. And many of you are already seeing these benefits. This release includes over 300 new features and enhancements that directly translate to improving either the performance that your users are seeing, reducing infrastructure and data center overhead, saving you money, and improving user experience along the way. So far, 3,900 of you have already downloaded or are using the 2507 LTSR. And for those of you that are waiting for a CU1, we should have that coming up soon by the end of the year. Just a little refresher on why CVAD 2507 LTSR is so important. One is we seamlessly integrated both Uber Agent and Device Trust into 2507. And this means that you're now getting much deeper insights into your endpoint performance, session quality, and application usage especially important for those tasks where you're looking to see about all the applications that exist within your enterprise. And now with device trust integrated, you can now apply all those contextual access policies based on who's logging in, from where, and on what device, all without conflicts or compatibility issues. What this means is that you're going to get stronger security and compliance because you can now dynamically enforce these controls and verify the device posture much easily, more seamlessly within your environment. And one of the most immediate benefits that we've seen from 2507 is a reduction in resource utilization. And we're hearing that from the customers both internally from conversations, and we're starting to see that out on social media. And it's really making a big impact within your environments. Here's just an example of an admin reporting that after rolling out 2507, CPU usage became smoother and memory stabilized, and they even saw IOPS drop. They noted that when they were using the older VDAs, it sat around 90% CPU. And while the upgraded VDAs held steadily at 75% under the same load. So for them and many of you guys out there, this is translated into more sessions you're getting per host and reducing the overall strain on your infrastructure, and you're saving money by using less resources to support the same number of users. So this is a big reason to move to 2507. Now, shifting from 2507, I really wanted to talk about some of the licensing changes that are already out there today. So for as long as I can remember, managing licenses has been a necessary but often cumbersome activity that's been part of running your Citrix environment. And based on your feedback with the challenges of managing license files, the pain of manual renewals, and the time that you guys are spending on support calls for these issues, where even some of these issues could cause an outage, and these outages could be impactful to your business, impacting users' productivity, or even costing the business money. So we took really a hard look at all of this data over the last 7 months alone. And we saw that nearly 6,000 of these issues are related to licensing. The vast majority of these were basic, small issues that are frustrating and time consuming. Problems like errors in just downloading a license file or not seeing the right components after renewal. All this operational overhead you really just don't need. It's time spent on these administrative tasks that could be invested in other more strategic projects within your IT scope. So the old process of downloading, allocating, and maintaining these license files for every renewal or new product hasn't really kept pace with the ever-changing world of software. And the entire industry has shifted. So this really just isn't an update. It's a fundamental change on how licensing works at Citrix. And we're moving towards a cloud-based licensing architecture for all of our products. Now, if we look at specifically for CVAT and DaaS, this will mean that you just need to upgrade to the latest version of the license server, your delivery controller, or brokers, and make sure that, and this should automatically work. Now, I'm sure some of you guys have questions like, what if I'm in a highly secure or even air-gapped environment that can't be connected to the internet? Well, we do support an offline activation model that requires an activation key from Citrix that will enable you to license those servers and your users. Just be confident that we will support your use case, whether you're always connected or completely online. And all of these scenarios are detailed in our product documentation. Another one I'm really excited about is about Microsoft Entra single sign-on for Citrix DaaS. I know this has been a widely asked for and highly awaited for feature, and it's really stemming from how organizations like yours begin shifting user and machine identities from your traditional Active Directory to Entra, or formerly known as Azure Active Directory. The challenge is that the expected SSO experience broke for your Citrix delivered virtual apps and desktops. And users had to log on multiple times to the OS, to the Workspace app, and then to their virtual desktop, creating this productivity drag with all these logons. And the previous solution, using our fast service, only supported Active Directory or hybrid join VDAs, leaving this one scenario, pure Entra-only environment with no SSO option. And this lack of SSO has stalled a lot of your major identity upgrade projects that many of you are trying to get through. So this should be a very exciting feature and well awaited. And with this, you can now, like I said, unblock a lot of these upgrade projects, allowing you to finally move, as you shift to an Entra ID only solution. You can continue to deliver that seamless, secure experience that your users are used to and fully expect using Entra ID, and integrate your MFA, which is provided native by the Entra platform. And if you're already using a hybrid environment, this new way allows you to achieve SSO without using FAS. So now you could simplify your infrastructure and reduce some of your management overhead in your data center. Just so this was a really important milestone for us at Citrix, and it's really important that we deliver this capabilities out to you guys. And it was a significant engineering collaboration between both Citrix and Microsoft. And it really lends to this great partnership we have, this collaborative partnership we have with them. And Citrix is going to be the first third-party solution to be able to deliver Entra SSO capabilities for their VDI platform. So on release, we're going to be able to support a wide range of your use cases. We'll be able to support Entra joined and Entra hybrid joined session hosts. We'll be able to support your single and multi-session desktops, persistent and non-persistent session hosts, and you'll be able to connect to these, traditionally through the Workspace app or your browser. And just so you know, this is a Citrix DaaS only feature for now. So we know this is going to be highly anticipated, and you guys are going to want to try this out. There is a public tech preview that will be available soon. So start planning for it. And we anticipate GA will be towards the end of the year. So if you are interested, I encourage you to, one, talk to your Citrix account team, get all the information and start discussing your transition plans. Two, participate in the public preview. Make sure you test it, validate, and get that feedback back to the product management team to make sure your unique scenarios and use cases work and are supported. And then we'll have comprehensive documentation, architectural information that will be available during the public preview when that's available on our documentation site. The next thing we're looking at is about how do we optimize your entire environment. And with that, we're looking at Citrix Advisor. And this is directly integrated into Citrix DaaS. And you can really think of this as a dedicated automated consultant for your environment, something that's always watching and always looking. And Citrix Advisor is constantly running checks on your deployment. And it delivers actionable recommendations right to your admin. It's all about getting ahead of potential problems before they become support tickets or even outages. So Advisor can help you automatically flag potential problems. If there's a configuration drift, best practice deviations, ensuring everything runs reliable. You're going to get clear guidance on fine-tuning resource allocation for the best performance and stability, and giving your users a great experience. You can identify areas of over-provisioning that helps you right-size your resources and automate routine checks for streamlining operations. Citrix Advisor is going to take the guesswork out of maintaining your environment, and it's one of the easiest ways to ensure that you have a healthy environment, giving you optimal performance with the lowest possible cost and great stability for your users. And then finally, let's take a look at some of the other areas we're investing in. One is that we're actively expanding our support for VMware Alternative, including a lot of updated and integrated image management for both Red Hat OpenShift and multi-cluster Nutanix Prism. We also are coming out with zero-day support for the latest platforms, including macOS Tahoe 26 and iOS 26, giving you improvements in user experience, and then features like multi-monitor, plug-and-play webcam, and voice dictation. And all of these are integrated within the Mac platform, and it allows you to expose all those, within your session. And we have the Microsoft Teams plugin that is being built directly into the installation process for both Windows Workspace app and for the Mac that's coming soon. And what this really is going to give you is that it's going to reduce some of the incidents where users are having poor experience because they don't have the plugin. Now it's integrated directly into Workspace app installation and allows for an easy fix or an easy transition there. And to wrap this up, I just want to say that 2507 LTSR is delivering measurable performance and cost benefits for thousands of you guys out there today. Our licensing modernization is streamlining your operations, making it much simple and taking that out of the equation of things you have to manage on a daily basis. And most importantly, we have Entra SSO, which is a major milestone that finally unlocks your critical identity upgrade projects, giving you this seamless and secure experience for all of your users. Thank you guys very much. Have a good day.
Hello, my name is Eric Bigog, and I'm the product manager for Unicon's ELATS operating system. I'm very excited to be here today to talk about how Citrix and Intrabata are teaming up to deliver a new solution for healthcare IT through the integration with our Unicon operating system. And as a great enabler for this, we also look at how organizations can easily migrate to Unicon, removing much of the complexity traditionally associated with switching operating platforms. So let's start with migration. With the addition of Unicon's Lightweight OS to the Citrix portfolio, we can now offer a secure, efficient, and highly flexible solution for endpoint management. However, when it comes to migration in IT, we are often struggling with the complexity, and this is where our great migration tools come into play. To deliver a seamless experience, we can automate the entire transition with our migration tool in 3 easy steps. First, you boot into Unicon OS on an existing device by the means of PXE or USB keys, which will then perform an in-place conversion of the existing OS which is on the device. And next, the client device will automatically be provisioned via the Scout, our central management platform. And after provisioning, the full performance will be enabled by one reboot, from where on the device will be centrally configured and managed for optimized usage. And now to show you just how easy this is, let's run a quick demo.
Welcome to another Citrix demo video, where we demonstrate new features both from the configuration and the end-user perspective. In this video, we demonstrate how to migrate an iCHL OS device to Unicon's eLux using the Citrix iCHL 2 eLux migration tool. The process is fully automated, remote, and requires no downtime for the user. We start in the iCHL Universal Management Suite, or UMS. Here, the administrator selects the iCHL OS endpoint that will be migrated. The migration tool script, called iCHL 2 eLux, is uploaded to UMS and assigned to the target device. Once assigned, the script is automatically transferred to the endpoint in the background. A profile is then applied that triggers the migration tool after reboot. Finally, from the UMS console, the administrator initiates the reboot to begin the migration process. After the reboot command, the endpoint restarts and the migration tool runs automatically. From here on, the process is fully automated. No further admin or user interaction is required. The migration tool replaces iCHL OS with Unicon's secure, hardened operating system. During this phase, the required Unicon packages, including the base OS, device drivers, and add-ons, are downloaded directly from the package source. Because this is fully automated, there is no need for installation media or manual setup. After the conversion, the device reboots again to finalize the migration. On first boot, the endpoint launches the automated onboarding process. It applies all necessary configurations and settings from Unicon's Scout management platform. Once onboarding is complete, the user is taken directly to the eLux desktop, ready to connect to their virtual desktop or cloud workspace. With the iCHL 2 eLux migration tool, switching from iCHL OS to Unicon's eLux is quick, reliable, and efficient. The entire migration, from script execution to a ready-to-use eLux device, is completed in just a few minutes.
And now let's talk about our new integration. In healthcare IT, there's a constant pressure to provide clinicians with instant, reliable access to their applications, as every second counts in a clinical environment. And while many healthcare organizations already benefit from using Citrix, virtual apps, desktops, together with Intrabata access management, many organizations still rely on inefficient and expensive methods to manage their endpoints. Therefore, this month, we released the integration of Intrabata and the Unicon operating system, bringing everything under one roof. With this integration, healthcare workflows become faster and more seamless, thanks to the integrated authentication right at the endpoint. It eliminates the headaches of dealing with multiple vendors and fragmented solutions, and it fits perfectly into the security-driven operations of modern healthcare environments. With the deep integration of Intrabata into Unicorn's latest version, we focus on 4 key functionalities. We enable instant access for clinicians with a tap-and-go access to the endpoint device, including and enabling medical workflows like EPCS. We account for shared workstations by enabling fast user switching to allow convenient and fast user access, for example in a patient room. And a flexible Citrix configuration offers both private and shared applications on the desk. And finally, the centralized management via Scout really simplifies the endpoint management across the whole organization. And once more, let's see in a short demo how this works.
Welcome to another Citrix Demo series video. In this demo, you will see how different hospital staff members use Imprivata fast user switching to instantly access patient records, all running on Unicon OS and Citrix. Meet our first user, Nurse Melissa. She enters the patient's room and begins her routine. With a quick tap of her red card, she is instantly logged into the EMR system, in her own user context, ready to work. With our Unicon operating system, the application can run seamlessly within the Elux desktop or as a full-screen Citrix session, giving IT admins full flexibility in how clinical workflows are delivered. Melissa now has secure, instant access to the patient data she needs to continue her work. No waiting, no wasted time. Next, we will switch user context. When Dr. Javier walks into the room, he simply taps his blue card to the reader. This triggers a fast user switch. Melissa is securely logged out, and Javier's login begins. To add another layer of security, he is prompted for his PIN before gaining access. Dr. Javier is now securely logged in, instantly accessing the same patient record, but with additional clinical details available according to his higher permission level. This fast, secure, and seamless process keeps clinical teams productive and patient data protected. Talk to your Citrix representative to learn more.
Bringing Citrix, Unicon, and Imprivata together is exciting news for every clinician requiring undisturbed, easy, and reliable access to applications. But there are many more benefits. First, let's mention that Unicon operating system is included in the Citrix entitlement, so there are no separate licenses required. And this is already the first part of reducing multi-vendor pain, which goes even further by a more streamlined setup and a day zero availability of system components. And with a simplified endpoint management, you will benefit not only from the pure integration of Imprivata, but also from Unicon, a trusted, lightweight operating system found across many security-sensitive industries. So in short, simpler management, stronger security, and fast access for clinicians. That is what the integration is all about. Thank you very much for listening.
Well, those were some pretty cool updates and demonstrate how Citrix is innovating across our product portfolio to help you secure the work. This webinar will be available on demand, so be sure to share the highlights with everyone in your network and connect with your account team to learn more. Watch the Citrix blog for more information and take a moment to look on the Tech Zone blog on Citrix Community for more details. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.